Please join me for Ask the Good Doctor, live today and every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 noon Central Standard Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bring your questions.
On my YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel. And please, if you could, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yes. Ask the Good Doctor, LaJoyce Brookshire. Like, comment, and subscribe. Good afternoon. Welcome to Ask the Good Doctor. I'm Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire, and we are here to help you attain, maintain, and reclaim your perfect health. So grab your Good Doctor notebook. You are not going to want to miss one moment of it. Join me, please, if you will, on Twitter at Ask the Good Doc and on Instagram and Facebook at Ask the Good Doctor. And as we have asked, thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel. We want you to like, comment, and subscribe. Stop what you're doing right now. Click that subscribe button if you haven't. Stop what you're doing right now and click that like button if you will, and share. Thank you for being with us. We have got for you today something really, really yummy for your soul. We've got good food for your soul today. And we are pleased to have with us two of my favorite sisters, Karen Taylor Bass, who is known as the PR expert and also the PR yogi. She has transformed herself from public relations into becoming a yoga master. And we've got Dr. Vikki Johnson, who is the creator of the Soul Wealth Phenomenon. And we are going to help you in this beginning of Women's Month. Yes, March is Women's History Month. Men, we're not excluding you, but we are catering to our ladies starting today for just a few weeks because we need to be catered to. We need some pampering. We need to understand how to care for ourselves, mind, body, and soul. So without further ado, I'd like to bring you my first sister, Karen Taylor Bass. Welcome, Karen.
Hello, LaJoyce. Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime, my darling.
I see we got the memo with the bright color and everything.
Yes. And it's always so good to see you. You just a ray of sunshine.
Oh, bless you. Same to you.
Karen and I have known one another for more years than we could count, so we won't count them.
Please don't.
But as many of you may or may not know, before I was the Good Doctor, I was a spin doctor. And Karen still is a spin doctor, and she is still at it. And she has what I like to say, what she likes to say, she's embarked upon her chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tell us about that, Karen.
Ooh, where do we start? Happy hello, everyone. Chapter 2 being what it is, the first time I was in my first quarter doing what we're told to do as kids, and then we morph into adults. Then we make decisions sometimes and we learn from them, and then we get this opportunity, if we are blessed, to get into a chapter 2 when you reach a certain point in your life. I would say middle age, receive and believe, where you have better answers, you have the cliff notes, so to speak. And so I am a sick divorced woman now. So this chapter is new. I am relocating. I'm a mother of 2. I have a son graduating from college in May, a daughter heading to high school. So this is the time for me to literally tap in and be the best Karen unapologetically. That's my chapter 2.
And that she is. In fact, my darling just celebrated her birthday. Happy birthday. Cha-cha-cha.
Thank you.
On the Stevie Wonder variety. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya.
Yes, thank you for the love. I'm taking it all year long, not just March.
That's right. We thank you, though, because it exudes from everything that you do.
Thank you.
Would you say that you've transformed into yoga? Did yoga find you, or did you find yoga?
Oh, baby, good question. I think we found each other. I think it's a marriage made in heaven, in the sense that, you don't know how God works in your life.
Hmm.
14 years ago, almost 14 years ago, I had postpartum depression and anxiety, and I didn't want to be on medication. My doctor said, if I give you this prescription, it'll take care of one thing and give you 3 more. So you got to decide. And he said, okay. So I went to started therapy. And then a friend of mine said, you should try yoga, Bikram yoga. Because when you're angst, you cannot stay in the moment. Your mind is onto something else. Bikram allowed me to stay in the moment for 90 minutes in a hot room.
Yes.
All I could do is sweat and be here in my body. But it was the first time in a long time that I was present tense. And so it found me with Bikram, and I was so curious, I decided to start to try other practices, hatha, vinyasa, meditation. And I said to myself, when I meet a Black instructor who sees me on a mat, because oftentimes as a Black person, you are invisible in that space called yoga.
Yes.
When they see me and recognize me, that will be the day I become certified as a yoga instructor. And that happened 2 years ago. Cinta Shea saw me, and she helped me, and I wanted to transform my mind, body, and soul, as you were saying, the opening credit, to be able to be a better version of myself, but also understanding that this is a journey, not a destination. And if I'm healing, that means there's people along the way that I can also help to heal.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're doing just that. What was your transformative moment in it to help you transcend?
Oh, you're bringing me there. So I could envision it. I was on the mat. My ankles were killing me, LaJoyce, like hurting me. Don't know why. And I said to my instructor, my yoga teacher, after that, my ankles are hurting me. And she said, that's where your trauma is.
Yes.
You have to work through your legs to get to the rest of your body. That's your trauma. And so I think that was the moment I realized that, wow, I had been holding this. And so, that snap, crackle, and pop in your ankles and so forth, and the lower extremities, I had that. But no one ever told me what it represented. Right? So I had to work through that. I had to journal that. I had to become stronger in that. But more than anything, I had to sit in it. And that is when I knew that this was a marriage made in healing.
Oh, well, okay. I need you to say more, because you said a mouthful so far.
Thank
and
you.
The trauma part of it, what I know as a naturopathic practitioner, I know that if you have pain in the ankles, that signifies a fear of moving forward. That, and like you say, the trauma. So the fear that gripped you from moving forward. Yes, she was right about the trauma. I want to know who that was who was able to diagnose you properly, because a lot of people are unaware that the body holds on to trauma.
The body talks to you. The body talks to you. And one of the things, and a good friend of mine said, and my therapist said to me, I've had the same thing I was talking about. I was married for 19, God dag. I think it's 19. I don't even remember now, but it was a long time. I'm going to say that between 60, it was like 16 years, honestly. But we were together for 19. And so one of the things that I remember is always wanting, but never having the courage to advocate, to say, I'm ready to end this. Oftentimes when you become divorced, your marriage has ended years prior to you pulling the plug.
Come on
So
now.
because I wasn't pulling the plug or living authentically, I was carrying it in my feet. I was carrying it in my ankles. I was carrying the back of my legs. So when I got on that mat and I made the commitment that I was going to become certified, was the same day I went home and asked for a divorce. So talk about the marriage. Who found me? We found each other, and we've been healing together. So that is it, So now when I spring forth, that joy in my ankles, when I rock my shoes, people think it's because it's something else, but it's because, the metaphor of feet and shackles are no joke. I'm not saying that I was shackled in my marriage. I'm saying mentally, my soul was not authentic. And that's a shackle in itself when you can't be authentically who you are to show up for who you are. And that person that you're looking at in the mirror, that reflection knows that you are not giving it your all. You carry all that stuff throughout your body.
Yes.
And that's what was happening to me.
Not to mention what we're carrying generationally.
The pathology of it never lies, right? Can we speak about that?
Please do.
And one of the things I've learned as a yoga instructor is when I'm instructing someone on the mat and they tell me, they go into child's pose and they start to bawl.
Yes, they can.
They're finally having the opportunity to surrender, because as women, I know it's Women's History Month, but also our men and our children don't have that opportunity just to acquiesce.
Yes.
To be. And so you carry all this stuff from your mother's mother's mother and your father's father, and it meets you on the mat, because on the mat is the place you're able to surrender to yourself and to a higher calling. And so you're able to now unpack everybody's stuff that you've been carrying and realize, like, it really is not for you to carry, but you got to do the work in the trauma to be able to get up from the mat and be able to stand still and do a forward fold.
Oh my gosh. And if it doesn't find you on the mat, it'll bite you square in your behind.
It'll trap you. It will trap you. It will suffocate you. It'll give you anxiety. It will give you trauma. It will give you chronic diseases. It will give you diabetes. It will give you everything that you don't want to hold on to, because you get these signals, right, that something is amiss.
That's right.
What happens is we're not used to tuning in. And as a Black person, as an African person, we are predisposed to everybody else's stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Generationally. So we carry it in our shoulders, on our head, our third eye, right? In our booty, in our belly, and then the legs. And then there's nothing left for you. So you're walking around hurt. And that was me. So I had to take a big step and own my stuff and say, okay, what are you going to do next? Are you going to take this with you? And are you going to have the courage to break the next generation of pain? And that's what I chose to do.
To your point, I want us to watch this clip where this doctor succinctly discusses this very topic of generational trauma and the fact that it is absolutely positively real. Watch this.
Okay.
So we see the numbers and we see that Black people are overrepresented, that the numbers are high. And I know there's reasons dating back to slavery for that. But if you could talk about kind of where we are now and what societal things or physical things or whatever it is, your specialists tell us why we are in the position we're in.
Well, definitely, as you mentioned, slavery, generational trauma is real. When a group of people suffer the type of trauma that African Americans have suffered generation after generation, that trauma is actually passed on, not just in terms of our emotional state and the way that we deal with crises in our environment, but actually genetically. Trauma has an impact on our very DNA. And so we really have to give credence to what has happened to us under this continued pressure. So generational trauma is a major issue, but also we are overrepresented in many groups that are high risk for mental illness, including people who live below the poverty line, exposure to community violence, foster care. There's so many areas where mass incarceration, where African Americans are overrepresented in groups that have been known to have higher rates of mental illness. And so we really need to be stepping up our interventions. But unfortunately, we have had difficulty having our community access culturally competent care. And that is a real challenge.
Okay.
Right on the spot.
Right on it. And the culturally competent part is also a part of the work that you do, because honestly, yoga, soulful yoga, is care for the soul.
Yeah. At the same time, it's caring for your soul while honoring your ancestors. And why I
wait. What do you mean by that? Honoring people. There's a lot of people toss that around like ragdoll. Honor your ancestors. What do you mean by this?
So I can only speak in my class.
Please.
So in my class, first of all, the playlist is curated with the person in front of me for that person. So the music is intrinsically in our soul, right? That is
Yes.
our DNA, just like trauma is. So when you hear drums, a healing circle from our motherland has been known, because what drums does, not only does it bring together for an event, it also heals the body. So when you're in my class and you're doing a forward fold and you hear the sound of drums, whether it be a playlist or whatever, you envision somebody beating on your back, getting out that pain, that stuff that you're carrying. That is the soul of it. When you hear a Nina Simone in your fingertips, that means you're able to elongate that arm, extend it, because when she says and talks to you, you're pulling it in, what she's talking about, because she is seeing you, even though it's the music. But music, as you know, is a universal language for healing and communication. So in my class, I curate a playlist that I know is about edifying, releasing, detoxing, but empowering.
Yes.
So it's a full circle transformation, as you would get in the motherland, as you would get in the Caribbean, as you would get in India, because we are diasporic, right?
Yes.
We are all over. So I am making sure I am sprinkling this. But at the same time, because I am seeing you as a Black woman with my stuff and your stuff, the soul is, our souls meet on the match, where I can say to you, open up that leg a little wider, stretch it. You're holding on to something. If you don't feel like you can give your best to yourself today, get in child pose and breathe and surrender your soul to the mat and allow it just to do what it needs to do. Because sometimes the best pose is no pose.
How about that?
No pose. Surrendering is a pose.
How about it? It's interesting you say that, because the surrender is where the healing begins.
Yes.
The stuff that you're carrying. I read this incredible book in this book club, The Things They Carry. Incredible book about men who went into the Vietnam War. They could only take one personal item. And the things that they chose to carry in, what meant so much to them. But my takeaway was the stories of what they told about what they carried out. See, that's the rash of the PTSD.
Yes,
and when we're talking about a generational trauma that is inflicted upon us as Black people, as people of color, period, in this nation, the things that we carry, like the doctor said, it's in our DNA, because nobody before us ever talked about it and how to unload it. Nobody told us how to unpack.
Right. So you carry it and you don't even know where it came from, because it's like you were born and they were like, oh yeah, you know, as they're changing your diaper, oh, don't forget to put so-and-so's trauma in there too. You just grow with it, right? Until you get older and you're like, well, that doesn't feel like it's mine. Having that conversation that's uncomfortable with our parents and elders and cousins, and say, you know, even as a woman going through perimenopause, right? At the doorstep of menopause, I went and asked my mom, like, tell me how your menopause, like, what was it like? What can I anticipate? And she was like, you know, you're going to sweat, you're going to do this, you're going to have, but it wasn't anything that I can hold on to. So then I had to realize that I had to create a tribe that I wanted to live in, and invite people in that tribe that spoke what I wanted to speak. Let's talk about menopause. What does it look like for each and every person? Oh, you mean so I could look out for this, so my hair's going to get dry. Okay, this is going to happen. I need the intel so I can prepare myself. We are, as Africans, descendants of Africans, we are tight-lipped, because
oh my gosh,
to share is to mean you're vulnerable. And we don't want to be vulnerable. But we want to be revered all the time.
Karen, that goes back to that adage.
Yes.
And we could say it, what happens in this house, come on, stays in this house.
That's why Vegas is so popular, right? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Yeah, it's the same adage. You don't want to talk about it, but I need you to share with me, LaJoyce, if you have a pathway that is going to help me, empower me on something that I don't know, and vice versa. Well, why are we not having that tribe? Why?
Right.
Because our children are coming right behind us. And even if we don't have children, everybody that I know is a mother and a father to someone. The person on the block, the person that you mentor. We are mothering generations of children who are clueless because we haven't shared with them the intel. We need to give them the intel as we figure it out. So what I know for certain is that breathing has been my healing.
The breath.
The breath. And it's simple as inhaling, allowing the chest to rise, and exhaling slowly through the lips. Letting it go, whatever no longer serves you. And in my class, I tell my students, brush it off. You don't carry it anymore. It's not yours.
It's not yours.
Give it to the earth. It's big enough for you. Give it to the earth.
That is what I tell people when they come to my office and we do body work. And you're right, the body does speak. I do something called body talk. And that's right. It's not yours.
Give it here. Take it away. Open this up. Go right here in the third eye. You know what I mean? Tap.
This is why.
To tap it.
Yes. This is why the women engage in, this is why women have more thyroid disorders, because they're swallowing their truth. They're living lies. And when 99.8% of thyroid disorders belong to women, we have to look at the emotional component attached. So when you're talking about we do so much for everyone else and there's nothing left for us as women, we have to carve out that time. And another phrase that's tossed around freely is that word of self-care. But Karen, tell us why it's so important.
So what I tell myself first, because I am the center of this for me, and then everyone else, my children, my friend, if I'm doing it, then they see it, right? I just can't be uttering words that mean nothing. So what I had to learn in my healing, my journey, is that self-care is soul care.
That's right.
Take care of your soul. It ain't never selfish.
Woo! Say it one more time, Karen.
Self-care is soul care. When you take care of your soul, you ain't never selfish, because you can't give what you don't have. But if you don't fill this vessel up and it's depleted, then the trauma, the PTSD, the angst, all that stuff that holds us back, you can never live your best life if you're tapped out.
That's right.
If you're tapped out. So you got to breathe through this. And it is a journey. Don't think you're going to have it fixed tomorrow. I'm still working on stuff. But the bottom line is I show up to work on it.
That's right. You better show up to work on it.
That's it.
You've done an excellent job doing just that. You actually even put up a post that I screenshot. Soul wealth is not just something that happens. You can't buy it at a grocery store. It's not on Amazon. You can't order it. It's not an app. It's the work. Yes, Karen Taylor Bass.
It's the work.
Yes.
Because I was tired of people saying, "Oh, you're not on social. You're not." I'm like, I'm busy working on myself. I can't work on myself and be taking all these great photos.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I can't filter my life. My life right now is that I need to be in the dirt, working it out, because the person that is emerging will be able to do all that. But for right now,
I am so with you.
I'm dirty.
I am so with you. Listen, like one more person asked me, why aren't I on Clubhouse, and send me an invitation.
I know, right?
I was like, when we get through a pandemic.
And I got an Android. Okay. How about that?
Yeah, that too. But I have iDevices. But how about when the pandemic is over and people are no longer sick and dying? I'll get on then when I have a little free time.
Yeah. But once again, it's a journey. So whatever gets you to your pathway, you feel great is fine. But for Karen, I believe the work and the recipe is in me showing up for myself daily and then showing up for my family. But making sure that I'm at the center. And I keep on saying that because I feel as women, as we celebrate Women's History Month, we don't speak our power. We feel that we shouldn't. We hold it to
Mm.
our heart. We feel like we can't proclaim how dope we are, how bad we are, how amazing we are. You know, how we did this. We did this. We are thriving in the midst of people holding us back, having their foot on our neck.
Yes.
We are crafting and carving a pathway for a better life for us and for future generations. And the only way you can do that is through breath work, for showing up for yourself, and forgiving yourself.
Now tell us about the breath work and why it matters.
Because most of us, as you know, we breathe shallow. It's like, but breath is the only thing that separates us from the non-living.
Yes, right.
The only gift that we have that they don't have is the breath work. So when you're gone, you can't exhale. So while you're here, all you have to do is just smell that roses. Inhale through your nose, exhale. When you do that, all your numbers start to drop.
Yes, they do.
Every number that you have to, and know your blood type, because that helps also. But one of the things I'd like to leave your audience with is, even if you wake up in the morning, rub your palms together, make heat, right? And this is what I do. I rub my palms together. If I'm sitting in Sukhasana or sitting tall in a chair like this, rub it together. And then I inhale, place it on any part of my body that needs light, forgiveness, and love. So maybe it's my throat. I drop my head and I exhale. And I allow all that stuff to leave me. But knowing that I'm giving the light where my body's telling me I need it. And I let it go. Stay right here with my thoughts. And then I just shake it off. And then I start my day and I just say, thank you. Thank you. That's it.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Tell us what you've got going on.
Ooh, what do I have going on?
What's new?
I'm planning for International Soulful Yoga Day 2. It'll be a 3-night event because of the pandemic. So the first night is a panel on mental health awareness. It's called "It's Okay Not to Be Okay."
There you go.
And the second night, the Friday, will be a wine tasting, virtual wine tasting with a Black sommelier. And we'll play games. Your Black card is revoked and so many fun things. And then the Saturday morning will be meditation and yoga classes, 2 to 3, just love and light, just very light, until we're able to reconnect and reconvene in a space where we're together. But because of the pandemic still and vaccinations and all that, I don't want to do it virtually because it's so long. I just want to break it up and have people be able to do what they want to do and get what they need to get. So maybe you just need to hear somebody talk about mental health. Maybe you just need to move. Maybe you need to breathe. Or maybe you need to sip some wine and let it go and say, okay, namaste. So whatever you want, we have it for you. And you could do all 3 nights. But that is my intention. That's what came to me. And I'm just, getting ready for my chapter 2. I'm in it. I'm planning. And I'm just walking slowly and taking a minute to see the sky that's blue, the butterflies when they come, the birds that are chirping, and knowing that life is imperfect, but guess what? I'm imperfect, and I serve a mighty God, so I'm going to be okay.
Amen. Karen, your transformation has been a joy to watch.
Thank you.
I just thank you, and I'm grateful for you taking this and sharing it with the world and not keeping it all for yourself.
Absolutely not.
That's what it's about.
Thank you. I love you.
Love you, sweetheart. Thank you so much for being here, Karen Taylor Bass. You can be in touch with her at KarenTaylorBass.com. Don't go away. When we come back, Dr. Vikki Johnson, give us a little bit of soul wealth, and we'll be back.
All right. Namaste.
Namaste, my sister. We have the power to heal. Amen. Our bodies have the power to do exactly what it was created to do. All we have to Welcome back to Ask the Good Doctor. I'm Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire, and if you would like to join us at the Wellness Warriors Weekend Getaway in Vermont in June, we've got just a few more rooms left for you. Come and be with us. We're going to be doing it safely. We're going to have early morning dispensaries so you can get your supplement for the day. We are going to be using the virus stand spray. I'm looking around. I had some near my desk here to spray in the air and spray in our mouths, of course, in case anyone happens to come down with COVID while they're there. But we don't anticipate that at all because all of you wellness warriors know how to keep yourselves well, and you're going to get a list of instructions of what to do before you even get there so we can make sure everyone is A-OK. So if you'd like to be there, send me an email at drbrookshire@outlook.com. That's DrBrookshire@outlook.com if you'd like to join us at the Wellness Warriors Weekend Getaway. And joining us right now and at the Wellness Warriors Weekend Getaway is Dr. Vikki Johnson, my other sister, who's going to give us a little bit of soul wealth. Hi, Dr. Vikki.
Hello. Hello.
I'm so cheesy.
I just wanted you and Karen to keep talking. That was so good. Oh my gosh.
Well, listen, you have nuggets that I want to hear and that the audience needs to hear as well. But first of all, I want you to, and watching this young lady's transformation has been amazing. We say she's been the baby of the bunch and we've known each other. Let me tell you how we bonded. Can I tell it, Vikki?
Yes, please.
I was director of publicity at the National Black Leadership Commission on AIDS, and we had a conclave of clergy and media to approach HIV and AIDS in the Black community, and with the amazing Deborah Fraser Howes, of course. Yeah. And Vikki worked at the time at BET. She was in charge of the Wrap It Up campaign, which was a community development campaign. Wrap it up, wrap it up, wear a condom.
Yeah.
She was in charge of that. And she came, she was probably on the job 2 weeks, a month.
2 weeks.
She was on the job 2 weeks. And she came and I was just like, just stick with me. Just stick with me. And she saw I had on lashes, because it was one of those kind of things. And she said, I need some lash glue. And I was like, here you go. So we bonded over eyelash glue. Hello. And we've been sisters ever since.
Ever since. And that was that was over 20 years ago.
Oh, it was definitely over 20 years ago.
Yeah, 1999.
My child wasn't born. Yeah, so definitely.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you, Vikki, for being who you are in terms of transformative work and teaching. She has been on the forefront of teaching women and pouring into their lives and sewing into them. She's also a chaplain.
Yeah.
And the soul wealth concept, tell me how you came to discover that, or did it discover you?
It discovered me, much like, what Karen shared. So in 2014, I did a TED Talk on the power of sacred sisterhood. And the power of sacred sisterhood is when women connect, collaborate, and create community, the result is soul wealth. It came to me just like that. And it is in alignment with the scripture, 3 John 2, where God says to us, I desire that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers, which says to us, your life can only be as healthy as your emotions, because your soul is the seat of your emotions.
Yes, it is.
And that was the beginning of soul wealth. It was very serendipitous. It's not something I set out to do. It absolutely found me, and we've been together ever since. And
growing in a way that has just been phenomenal. In order to flourish in our soul wealth, just like when you take that little baby step and save your first $20 every week to make sure that you have $1,000 at the end of the year. Yes. In order for you to flourish in soul wealth, you have to first understand what is a soul injury.
Yeah.
Because somewhere deep down somewhere, a lot of people have been injured to the depths of their soul. And I want you to take a look at Dr. P.K. Roberts, who is a retired military chaplain, as she defines what a soul injury is.
To thank them for the lessons they had taught me. I am going to close by reading you the last paragraph of that letter. When you were dying, you vets taught me that we already have everything we need in order to be whole. Unlike what I thought, it's not about being stronger or bigger or more resilient. It's about removing barriers of loss and shame that prevent access to the soul of who we are. You vets taught me how the soul speaks a different language. Some of you wrote or painted or sang about your soul injuries. Many of you had colorful language to describe your soul injuries. But most of you simply used your wartime experience to quietly seek peace in your own way and to bring peace to those around you. For some of you, peace remained elusive, so you remained hostile or bitter or addicted. Some of you were even dying because of the consequences of those behaviors. Yet as death approached, most of you yielded to the secrets your soul revealed. As you did, I listened and learned truths that can only be taught by the dying. And what your regrets revealed was this: stop the denying, stop the numbing, reconnect with the part of self holding your pain and shame. Don't waste your suffering. Learn from it.
Learn from your suffering.
That was good.
That was good. And even though that wasn't Dr. PK, that was Dr. Deborah Grassman, who did create the soul injury phenomenon. There is actually an organization called Soul Injury. Yes, soul injury is a thing, right?
It is a thing, and it's tied very much to what you and Karen were talking about, which is generational trauma. A lot of times people come to Earth, right? We're born with injury that we didn't create. It's because generations before us did not heal. And so when Karen was talking about her soulful yoga is caring for your soul and your ancestors, that is the connection. I just got chills. Like, that is the connection. Because when we heal our bloodline going forward and backwards, right? And so I have a daughter. So she has been the inspiration for me healing, me doing my work. And I am inspired by the work that my grandmothers did, that my mother has done. And so soul injury is very real. I wrote something down, LaJoyce. I just wanted to share. It talks about soul care and our soul being the seat of our emotions. In order for us to heal, we have to feel our feelings, which is where the breath work comes in, right? We must find meaning for our emotions in order to manage them. And the way to find meaning is to live the question and let the answer breathe. That is how you move that energy through your body.
Okay.
Yes.
Live the question?
Yes.
Say more.
Why do I feel this way? Not what's wrong with me, what happened to me.
Okay. This is where women are stuck.
Yeah.
Not just women, this is where people are stuck, period.
Yeah.
Especially in this season. People are asking the question, I've done everything right. Why did I catch COVID? Why did my father catch COVID? Why did my mother catch COVID? Why? Just repeatedly asking the questions, but not working through it.
Right. And letting the answer breathe.
Now, what does that mean? How do you let the answer breathe?
Not judge it. Not condemn yourself and then proceed to issue out punishment or a sentence or set, watch this, an unintentional intention by saying, I will never love again. I will never trust again. No one else will hurt me like that. That's
Right.
an unintentional intention because it is coming up out of your pain, which is
Okay.
real, which is real. We need to feel our feelings so that we can heal, connecting it back to what our sister Karen shared, which is why we need to get on the mat or get out in nature
Yes.
or
Yes.
move our bodies, breathe, rub your hands together, warm them up, right? Give yourself love, because we cannot give away what we don't have. So in letting the answer breathe,
Mm-hmm.
we're extracting the lesson.
Okay. Okay. I like what you say about don't run away from the answer, but sit in it.
Yeah.
Now, that's a very tall order, Dr. Vikki, because a lot of people are not ready to confront the truth.
Then they're ready to continue suffering.
Oh,
So change is
because
hard.
yeah,
Change is hard. And staying the same is hard. Like, pick your heart.
because you cannot conquer what you do not confront.
You have to face it. And I'm not saying face it alone. Neither am I saying it is your responsibility to figure it out. It is your responsibility to heal. And you do have the opportunity to invite someone else into that space, a therapist, a pastoral counselor. You might say, well, I can't afford a counselor. I can't afford a therapist. Well, regardless of what your economic status is, every single person on the planet just about has a phone that's connected to the internet. And you can go on YouTube for free.
Yes, you can.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of good therapies.
Resources are everywhere.
Listen,
Resources are everywhere. We
that's
are
right.
without excuse today.
Actually, this is therapy.
Yep.
This is a mode of therapy.
Yep.
And we need to have more conversations about issues that affect the human condition.
Yes.
And this is one thing, the soul injury leading to soul wealth. But I think that people are conditioned into believing that trouble's not going to come their way, that every day will be a sunny day, that like Noah did, can you stand the rain? While they're talking about a relationship in that song, honestly, sunny days, everybody has them. But tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? That is the question. And I heard T.D. Jakes say the other day that the one thing that frustrates him the most is that people don't want to stay on the cross. They don't want to go through the crucifixion, and they want an ambulance to come to rescue them all of the time.
Wow. Let me tell you when you know you can stand the rain. When you get excited about walking in the rain. Yeah. When you can play in the rain. You know, it's at the end of the day, when you get down to it, it's just water.
Okay. And stand up, because it may only be just up to your ankles.
And water is life. So, you know, I like playing in the rain. I'm a Southern girl. I grew up in South Florida. Both of my great grandmothers are Native American, Cherokee, and Creek. So nature calls me, water calls me, walking in the woods, right? It calls me, being barefoot calls me. And, you know, less is more. That's what I want to say to help you heal your soul. When you're overwhelmed, start removing some things.
Come on.
And some people. Does this really matter for me right now?
That was the mouthful. Pause.
Okay.
That was the mouthful. Remove things and people.
Yes.
It sounds really simplistic, but Vikki, how do we action steps? Just little baby, give us action steps for starting to remove things and people.
So again, live the question. Why does this person mean so much? Why does their opinion mean so much to me? What are they adding to me? Or are they taking away from me? Why is it so important to me that they see me? Or is it important that I be seen?
Come on.
Because, you know, the old folk as they say, used to say, you know, one person's trash is another person's treasure.
That's right.
So is it the person, or is it the affirmation, the validation, the acceptance, the approval? And I often say to especially women that I'm mentoring, keep moving forward, because there are people waiting for you to show up fully in places you have not been yet.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's people you have not met yet. But we get so comfortable in what's familiar that we try to constrain people to outlive their season in our life. And everybody's not meant to be there always. Some people are in your life just for a moment, for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Other people for a season, and very few for a lifetime.
Yes.
And our work, our soul work, is to identify who's who, and then to become the person we want to have in our life. Because I attract what I reflect. So if I am reflecting wholeness, healing, wellness, peace, I'm going to be surrounded by that, because I become a magnet for who I am. So whatever I am, however I am showing up, that is what I am attracting into my life.
That goes along with the adage, whatever you are expecting is also expecting you.
Yep.
And I know that some people have a hard time wrapping their head around that concept, but it is like attracts like. And here's a question that I have. Let me interrupt myself and ask this question. Do you believe really that opposites attract?
I do. And I believe that because there's a part of us that wants what we think we can't have.
Oh.
There's a part of us that feels like we need what the other person has. And that is my advocacy, if you will, for understanding what this relationship is supposed to be. What ship is this? Right? Is this a friendship? Is this a mentorship? Is this a romantic ship? You know? But opposites attracting can bless you, or it can be a burden if you don't manage it properly, which I go back to the importance of healing, doing your work, because sometimes we're attracted, sometimes we are attracted to the opposite of our wound.
Oh, yes.
So we are attracting a compatible dysfunction, not a compatible elevation relationship. So there are a lot of people who are attracted by their trauma.
Yep.
And then when one person starts healing, the relationship starts falling apart. Because the things that brought you together they no longer have the same meaning. They no longer are fulfilling, you know, and I know that because I've lived that. I have been in relationships where we bonded through our trauma. Yeah. And then when I started healing, it's like the prodigal son, like the prodigal daughter. I came to myself, like, what in the world was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. I wasn't feeling. I was just going through the motions, which is how you got into this space in my life. And now that I am healing, I have a personal responsibility to declutter emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It doesn't mean we don't love each other anymore. It just means we cannot be in proximity to one another anymore, because we all have energy. And I only want energy around me that is nurturing, that is nourishing, that is healing, that is holding me accountable and causing me to grow up into myself so that I can be the best version of Vikki.
And would you constitute that as what you define as decluttering your soul?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely do. Less is more.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people talk, I'm a minimalist. I really am. And I try to declutter something in my physical space every day because it is a reminder. I do. I throw something away every day, or I give something away every day, or I'm getting rid of things. And that's twofold. One is I like open space. I like space that feels good and not cluttered. So consequently, here's something personal that I'll share. I don't like being around a lot of people, like in stores or like out and about. So the quarantine was easy for me because
me too.
At like the big stores, I'm talking about like Costco's or Sam's Club, like that's very overwhelming to me energetically, literally. It is. So I'm working to declutter my space. The second reason I really came to that understanding about me, LaJoyce, is helping people, particularly last year and shortly before that, who lost family members.
Yes.
Helping them clear out that family member's belongings.
Oh my God.
It was completely overwhelming.
It is overwhelming. It is overwhelming. That is the hardest part of the death.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so you get to see years and years of paper, years and years of clothes, years and years of jewelry, you know, and it's just like, how did we get here? Not in judgment, but in awareness. So do I really need to shop? Do I really need to buy another pair of shoes? Do I really need more jewelry? Do I, you know, it is, this pandemic has been that for us. You know, for me, I'll say, what do I really need? Okay, I have what I need. Are there things that I want? Do I need them now? Yeah. What's most important? And you know what's most important? My physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health.
Indeed it is.
And that is why I started hiking in March of 2020. I hiked 8 to 10 miles a week.
I love that. I love that.
That was one of the gifts to me of 2020. It's like, I have to get out in nature.
That's right.
And
run with it.
It has just been a tremendous blessing to me in every way.
I love walking, and I walk the mountain, and it is refreshing. It is centering. There's nothing like being one with nature. My producer, Chris here, he's been doing a challenge, doing 5 miles, 5 days in a row. And I'm like, wow. Okay, so I'm going to wrap my head around that, and I'm going to do that next week. But you know, I have to start thinking about that first in terms of that distance. But I am going to do that. I can see the benefit of it, and I love the crispy air getting into the lungs, inhaling and exhaling. And I just want to commend you for picking up something like that, because there is nothing that cleanses the soul like the earth.
Mm-hmm. And so good.
And putting one foot in front of the other and just getting started.
Yeah, so good. I'm going to go walking after we finish this conversation. Actually, it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. It's a little chilly, but to your point, in movement is where we heal. In movement is where we heal. As they went, scripture says, they began to heal. That's movement, because wherever we are stagnant, it becomes a dish for infection. And if we don't deal with that infection, becomes disease. And if we don't deal with that disease, we know what ultimately happens. It can be fatal, not just physically. I'm talking about mentally,
that's right,
emotionally, spiritually, relationally. There should be movement. There should be growth. In what direction, Vikki? You should be expanding. You should be ascending. You should be becoming more of the things you said you wanted to be and become. And as you be, the doing happens organically. So I want to just invite those who are watching us today, take this time, stop, drop, and reassess. Drop down into your deepest desires, reassess, reposition, get reset, and do the work so that as we begin to open up again, you're equipped, you're positioned, you're ready to serve and live and be your best self, living your best life, whatever that means to you, whatever that means to you.
I love that. And I love that you have created the Soul Wealth Academy, that you are actually have something official to teach people how to attain their soul wealth. And I'm glad in Vermont that you're going to have one-on-one sessions with people to do a soul wealth check. So tell us about, yes. So tell us about the Academy.
Well, the Soul Wealth Academy was birthed out of me getting consistent requests, DMs, inboxes from women asking if I mentored women. And I did on a group scale because I was an associate pastor of women at my church for 18 years prior to resigning. And so as Soul Wealth began to grow legs and expand and grow after the TED Talk, I started writing the book, which I released in August of 2019. But then I created this space, a tribe, if you will, where women come together in community, because we can't do community alone. We come together in community. And so I am pouring into them because they are women leaders. They're high performing, high achieving leaders themselves, building their own community. So I have this academy where I am pouring into these women since the pandemic. We do monthly Zoom check-ins. We have a private Facebook group. We have one-on-one sessions that I have with them. They have access to me to help guide them, through the nooks and crannies of life and leadership as a feminine leader in the world. And that is what the Soul Wealth Academy is constantly growing. And not necessarily in number as much as the growth and the quality of life that is increasing in the members that we have. So I currently mentor directly about 115 women in the Soul Wealth Academy. And then annually, we do a beach retreat. We did not do it last year for obvious reasons in 2020. But I gather everyone together in the same place for a weekend of immersion, connection, and reflection. And so that is what the Soul Wealth Academy is. That's who we are. That's the tribe. And it's my privilege and honor to serve the women who are attracted to the mandate on my life, in this way.
Amen. Well, I am privileged to be counted amongst one of your sisters. I have just been tickled pink watching your transformation. Thank you. And it has been just sheer bliss to know that you are helping women to transform as well.
Thank you. I just want to say, I just so appreciate you and who you have been. I call you big sister because I don't say that lightly. I call you big sister because I don't know if you know this or if you remember, I'm sure you do. You have a memory like an elephant, but I was a hot whole mess when you met me. I was coming out of a marriage, going through my divorce. I was not too far out of 5 years of postpartum depression when we met. I'd gone through, the transitions at BET at the time. And I literally was just putting one foot in front of the other at the time. I was still depressed when we met. So Soul Wealth has been experiential for me, which is why it is so powerful. And I'm so passionate about it because I had to live it first.
Yes.
And that is why it can come up out of me the way that it does. And LaJoyce, I just want to say thank you for being consistent. I still remember conversations we had, things you said, eyes that you rolled. Like, I just remember so much about the way that you have loved me into this transformation and through this transformation into who I am and what I'm doing with Soul Wealth. So just publicly, I thank you. I love and appreciate you and Karen and our sisters, that have come up out of that work that we did for so long and had so much fun. But you are my blessing. You are my gift. And I have said to you, whenever you call me, it's a yes for me. Like, I'll work it out because I know God used you to breathe life into me when I could not catch my breath. So I just love you.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, we're not gonna cry right now because I feel like crying too, but I just wanted to say that to you.
We'll save it for Vermont, where she will be giving us at the Wellness Warriors Weekend Getaway a soul wealth check, and she will be participating in the book Nook, where we will read, have conversations, cookies, and cocoa with our best-selling authors, because, of course, Dr. Vikki is one. Thank you, Dr. Vikki, for being with us today, dropping all of those nuggets. And that does it for me. I'd like to thank my team, Christopher Green, technical producer, IW, supervising producer, DJ Indy, our announcer. And just remember this, always, always, to let your eyes shine, cut back on the wine, get good food fast, and go easy on the greasy. I'm Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire, here to give you and to help you attain and maintain your perfect health. Let's do it again next week, okay? God bless you.